Hey guys, welcome to All Time Gaming. I'm Chris.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Alex, and Kratos made a return this week, showing an altogether more paternal side to the murdering psychopath that we've come to know, fear, and yes, love.
However, as caring and nurturing he may be in his Nordic adventure, it's worth remembering that he is, at heart, an awful person.
How dare you, sir?
He was, though.
Yes, one who has done awful things. Not as bad as the Sony marketing department, but still pretty bad.
Don't believe us? Well, check out these 6 times the God of War himself went a little bit too far. But before that, do the clicky on the subscribe button, and let's get into it.
In Greek mythology, Hermes was the messenger of the gods, using his significant speed to deliver edicts from Mount Olympus when Zeus was too busy turning into swans.
And people.
As swans. In the game, Hermes' speed makes him a difficult opponent, but one that Kratos treats particularly nastily. Maybe because he gave him the runaround.
Oh, you're going there, are we?
The runaround.
No, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
In God of War 3, while busily tearing through Olympus with all the grace of Miley Cyrus on a wrecking ball, she'd definitely get it though, Kratos encounters Hermes in the Chamber of the Flame. One short chase scene later, and the Spartans' endurance outmatches the god's speed, and Hermes is left largely defenseless. Completely defenseless, let's face it.
I mean, yeah, Hermes was never the buffest of gods.
Unfortunately for Hermes, however, Kratos is not just a murderous lunatic, but a kleptomaniac too, and really likes the look of the messenger's shiny boots.
I mean, who wouldn't? Those are some sweet-ass kicks.
They are. Instead of simply waiting for his opponent to pass away, or demand he take them off, Kratos uses his blades to dismember Hermes and claim the reward off the now disembodied legs.
Oh,
You chop off the person's legs to get to the shoes. Weird.
You know what's really grossing me out?
Yeah.
None of these guys wore socks.
oh.
So he's taking shoes off Hermes' bare feet and putting them on his bare feet.
Oh.
After what can charitably be called torture, the horror show isn't over just yet. When they die, gods release a natural disaster upon the earth, which, in the case of Hermes, happens to be a plague of disease and pestilence, killing thousands of innocents. Kratos could have left his adversary broken but alive. You know how the mob do it. He could have asked for the boots. He could have done lots of other things. But Kratos is a
Wow.
But the question is, Jonesy, how much of a is Kratos?
Oh.
a big old swinging ashy like we've already established.
Well, yeah. Well, the validity of his quest for vengeance against the inhabitants of Mount Olympus can at least be argued. But there's one guy, a relative nobody, who suffered at the hands of Kratos not once, not twice, but 3 times!
You went really high there.
I'm sympathizing for this guy a lot right now.
High for emphasis.
Yeah, that man is the sea captain we meet at the beginning of the very first game.
The sea captain.
A good and honest man, I'm sure.
Yeah,
with
salt
an
of
honest
the
job.
earth.
God of War opens with the boat transporting the Ghost of Sparta being attacked by the Hydra, a multi-headed sea beast almost incapable of dying. The crew bravely battle the creature but prove no match, and the captain is snapped up and swallowed whole. Unfortunately, he also happened to be wearing the key to his cabin, somewhere Kratos wants to go.
Oh, you know where this is going.
Kratos slays the Hydra and dives down the beast's throat, which the captain interprets as a rescue attempt.
Yeah, a fair assumption.
Yeah, except Kratos has no intention of saving the captain, and practically throws him down the gullet of the dead serpent to grab the key. He could have saved them both, he just didn't care enough to try.
His hands were slippery from all that throat juice. He couldn't pull him out, so he just let him go.
Oh my god, never say throat juice ever again.
Throat. Love a bit of throat juice.
But guys, that was just the first time. When Kratos is later killed by Hades, the nascent God of War grabs a pair of legs to prevent his fall into the river Styx. Whose legs? Well, it's the captain again, who is thrown down into the river by Kratos, this time in an attempt to prevent his own fall. And there's no refuge in God of War 2 for the unfortunate captain.
Oh man.
When the barbarian king summons souls to battle Kratos, the captain is one of those called. On recognizing his nemesis, the captain wisely tries to flee, but is killed anyway because Kratos can't get hard without his daily dose of unnecessary cruelty. Maybe they've even hidden him somewhere in the new God of War, so if you find him anywhere, let us know in the comments down below.
Right guys, it's fair to say that none of this bloodshed would have happened were it not for Ares attempting to make his acolyte a stronger warrior. Were it not for Ares, Kratos' family would never have been put in harm's way in the first place. I mean, that's a fair point, but it doesn't absolve Kratos from the blame he bears for killing Lysandra and Calliope.
Yeah, it wouldn't stand up in court.
That was what Chris Benoit was going to say, then I realised
Jeez.
there's no way out.
Well, in fact, it was Kratos' inability to control himself that led him to killing his wife and child in the first place. While blood drunk, he tore through Athena's temple without much consideration as to who got in the way. But okay, let's look at it at a bit of a different way. Before he murdered his family, Kratos was perfectly happy massacring his way around Greece, slaughtering thousands of women and children, and not giving much of a shit about the grief he caused in Ares' name. But when Ares does that to him, that goes beyond the line and he loses his shit.
Double standards.
Of course, you can feel sorry for the man, and I mean, look, no one is going to mourn that gigantic douchebag, but Kratos also used it as a crutch to justify being a generally unlikable tool for pretty much the entire series. Hey Kratos, why are you turning my head into a glorified torch? Well, I killed my wife and daughter. I can't do a Kratos voice, so it's hardly the justification of a mentally stable person. But what do you guys think? Was Kratos right to embark on his campaign of god slaying? Or do you think he needed to, I don't know, maybe try therapy? Let us know in the poll up above and the comments down below.
Alright, so despite his abysmal human rights record, Kratos still manages to come out of God of War 1 with a promotion. Leading Olympus's Department of Defense, his job was to effectively protect the Greeks. Through war, Kratos was meant to bless the mighty and honor the gods. Instead, he sets about aiding his native Spartans in conquering Greece, using, surprise surprise, the memories of his dead families as an excuse. Stupid reason aside, Kratos is annoying his fellow gods by destroying their favorite cities and generally acting like an irresponsible child. At one point, Athena even tries to help Kratos by pleading with him to halt his campaign of destruction. Kratos responds by stating he owes her nothing and leaves to ravage Rhodes.
Not roads.
Take the roads, but leave the freeways. Alright, you come up with something better.
Lo and behold, Zeus gets sick of Kratos' bullshit and tricks him into relinquishing his powers through a mixture of eagles, enchanted blades, and a huge off statue.
The Colossus of Rhodes?
Possibly.
Hell yeah.
Is that of your ancestors?
Yeah.
If Kratos had simply calmed down even a little, then the events of God of War 2 and 3 would have never happened. No plagues, no flooding, no eternal darkness. Zeus could have continued turning into wildlife and porking Grecian chicks to his heart's content, and Kratos could have moved on with his life. But no, he just had to go the extra mile to lose friends and alienate people.
The tale of Icarus and Daedalus is meant to be a cautionary fable on the dangers of hubris. Icarus thought he could fly higher and further, but the sun melted the wax holding his wings together.
Tale as old as time.
Great knowledge of science there, obviously.
In the underworld, Icarus desperately worked on new wings to escape his condition and would have succeeded had Kratos not rocked up. In God of War 2, Kratos stumbles across the man almost by accident on the island of creation. Icarus appears as an old man, driven half mad by his obsession with escaping the underworld and meeting the Sisters of Fate to change his past. Considering this is practically Kratos' mission, you'd have thought he'd have been sympathetic. Maybe they could have even worked together.
He could have carried him like an eagle in his talons.
Yeah, right, because if you think that, then you haven't been paying enough attention. Instead, Kratos throws him off a bridge, punches him repeatedly in the face, and physically rips the wings off Icarus' back. The now flightless Icarus falls past Atlas and right back into the underworld, screaming all the way home.
What a
I know. It's a brilliant piece of unnecessary brutality. Perhaps Icarus could have flown them both across the chasm to the sisters. Or perhaps some sort of wing loan system could have been arranged. But no, Kratos just goes right ahead and takes what he wants when he wants. And if you're in the way, you're gonna suffer.
Next time I get shortchanged at the friggin' drive-thru, right?
just rip off their heads.
I'm gonna tear someone's f***ing head off. Maybe that way you'll get what you want next time.
Now guys, Gaia is the mother of all life on Earth. Without her, there would be no trees or rivers or food or Zeus or Kratos or anything really. She is pivotal to all things and deserves to be honored as the goddess that she clearly is. Except this is God of War, and to Kratos, Gaia represents nothing more than just a target.
Another mouthy.
Can't say that.
Another mouthy.
Can't say that either. At the beginning of God of War 3, Gaia and Kratos ascend Mount Olympus to finish off Zeus once and for all. In the course of fighting, however, the pair are sent hurtling over the edge, with Gaia effectively allowing Kratos to tumble to his doom. Now, some people here would consider that the ends justify the means. Others would be suitably pissed or just simply give up. But Kratos is fueled by the rage of Sparta and, of course, PTSD, and sets about dragging his pale carcass back to the top of Mount Olympus.
He's probably also on testosterone replacement or something like that.
Gotta be.
He's gotta be on the TRT.
Yeah.
On his way up, he finds Gaia still clinging on for her dear life and, just nonchalantly severs her hand, allowing her to fall.
He's definitely got roid rage.
Yeah.
I think there's a whole slew of things
This guy's definitely got some issues. But anyway, you can't keep a massive woman made of wood and rock down. And showing the family trait of pure bloody-mindedness, Gaia claws her way back up to the top, just in time to interrupt Zeus and Kratos' long-awaited showdown. Kratos only succeeds in killing Gaia where limb loss and a 9,000-foot drop failed by driving her own grandson through her heart.
Her achy breaky heart.
Achy breaky heart. Yeah, ridiculous.
That's kind of dark.
Just take a chill pill, dude.
Thanks for watching today's video and hope you enjoyed it. But before you go, I've got a quick message from our Patreon supporter, Bids, who wanted me to say, "Where's the lamb sauce?" Gordon Ramsay's voice didn't crack, but I'm not as used to shouting as he is, and if you want me to say more ridiculous things, maybe you should consider supporting our Patreon. I'll literally say anything for money.